Good evening, you are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets His Majesty the King of Jordan on his birthday. Iran says it will not reverse the nuclear steps before the US sanctions are lifted. And the World Health Organization urges nations to ensure coronavirus vaccines are widely available for the poorer countries as well. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Majesty Abdullah II ibn al-Hussein, King of Jordan, on the occasion of his birthday. Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif said at a news conference in Istanbul that Tehran will not accept US demands that it reverse an acceleration of its nuclear program before Washington lifts sanctions. Turkey's Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu said that he hopes the United States will return to the nuclear deal with Iran under US President Joe Biden's administration, and that sanctions imposed on Iran will be lifted. Former US President Donald Trump unilaterally withdrew America from Iran's nuclear deal in 2018. Under the deal, Tehran had agreed to limit its uranium enrichment in exchange for the lifting of economic sanctions. After that, the US ramped up sanctions. Iran gradually and publicly abandoned the deal limits on its nuclear development. The World Health Organization accused wealthy nations of vaccine nationalism and urged them to ensure coronavirus vaccines are also made widely available for the poorer countries. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said that it's every nation's own interest to support the vaccine equity. Tedros said rich countries are rolling out vaccines while the world's least developed countries watch and wait. He said the world faces a catastrophic moral failure if it doesn't aim for vaccine equity, and said studies show such policies could cost global economies trillions of dollars, about half in the wealthiest economies. Tedros also reiterated a challenge to the world. Together, we must ensure that vaccination of health workers and older people is underway in all countries within the first 100 days of this year. The Australian state of Queensland announced yesterday is to reopen its border with New South Wales after curbing a coronavirus outbreak. Queensland State Premier said all state residents would be welcomed back on February the 1st and wouldn't have to go into quarantine on arrival. She urged people of Sydney looking for a vacation to travel to her state. Queensland closed its border to Greater Sydney and surrounding areas after an outbreak in late December, disrupting the Christmas travel between the two states. Heavy snowfall blanketed northern Japan, including the island of Hokkaido today, disrupting traffic on roads and canceling flights. Japan's public broadcaster NHK reported that 78 flights to and from Hokkaido was cancelled as of today. Train services were also suspended, and Japan Meteorological Agency said more than 60 centimeters of snow is expected to fall by tomorrow morning in some areas on Hokkaido and northeastern Japan. Weather officials called for local residents to stay alert for the snowstorms, strong winds, and avalanches, as well as power outages. A storm drenching California has brought much needed rain in a dry winter, but is also threatening flooding and mudslides as it moves through the south. The atmospheric river of moisture that barreled ashore in the north early in the week has prompted flood advisories in Los Angeles County and flash floods watches in Orange and San Diego counties, where fires last year burned hillsides bare, leaving them vulnerable to mud and debris flows. In Orange County, mud covered a road and reached up to the sides of the houses. Still to come on News Bulletin. بيت الصباح in بركة الموز is a unique touristic attraction in the wilaya of Nizwa. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Oman oil price March 2021 delivery reached $54 and 63 cents per barrel. According to Dubai Mercantile Exchange, Oman oil price rose by 22 cents. The average price of Oman oil February 2021 delivery reached $50 per barrel, thus $6.17 higher than the price of January 2021 delivery. With the announcement of the Ministry of Health that the decline in number of infected cases with coronavirus COVID-19 and the start of the vaccination against the virus, many people in the Sultanate mistakenly thought that the effect of the virus is fading. This made them to neglect regarding taking precautionary health measures such as social distancing, washing hands thoroughly with soap and water, or using sanitizer on a regular basis and wearing a face mask in the crowded places. The virus is still spreading among all segments in the society, taking into account the new variants of the virus, which started to spread all over the world. بيت الصباح in بركة الموز in the wilaya of Nizwa is considered one of the touristic attractions that will contribute in the development of tourism sector in the area. More details in the following report.
حارة السيباني in بركة الموز is one of the most prominent archaeological and historical districts in the Dakhiliya Governorate. It was built on a rocky hill. It comprises of around 50 ancient houses, portraying the Omani brilliance in engineering and construction. One of its houses is called Beit al-Sabah, whose owners endeavored to bring this archaeological monument back to life, intending to convert it into a heritage inn.
The name of this house is Beit al-Sabah. This name given because of the area that on this place that as-Sabah means people gathering together at the early morning to discuss their things related to the life. We renovate this house so we can serve the coffee with this very nice view. These houses are reflecting the real life, the old real life for Oman, because people they have the modern hotels, so we want to show them the old style, old lifestyle for Oman.
The aroma of the coffee that wafts through the corridors of Beit al-Sabah nourishes the senses of the visitors, taking them into a scented journey to the ancient Omani heritage. Mishan Cafe is a project within Beit al-Sabah, providing a distinguished service to the tourists. Enthusiastic Omani youth run this cafe and attend to the orders of the visitors who spend delightful moments at the charming views here.
It was actually a good experience where I can practice my love for coffee, where I can make coffee, and also it was a golden opportunity where I was able to talk with the community members and experience the life of working in a business. It's actually a good opportunity, as I said before, because you can see how our grandfathers and people before them have lived in these places, and how life was before, and also how to invest in these places to be a good business, or also for people who want to live here instead of letting it ruin and just be damaged.
A visit to Beit al-Sabah is a memorable experience. Such endeavors to make the most of ancient houses and revive their historical merits yield a touristic and economic added value. صالح بن خلفان الرحبي, ولاية of نزوة الداخلية Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets His Majesty the King of Jordan on his birthday. Iran says it would not reverse the nuclear steps before the US sanctions are lifted. And the World Health Organization urges nations to ensure coronavirus vaccines are widely available for the poorer countries also. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a good night.